Hello, everyone. Welcome to Phases the Next Level, Black is Magazine. We're so excited to be here tonight. We appreciate everyone tuning in to this amazing interview that we have with Tyler Glenn, who is the CEO and founder of Red Dirt Rubs. Is that correct, Tyler?
Yes, ma'am, it is.
Okay, so what we're going to do, you guys, we're going to have Tyler to introduce himself, and then we'll get right into the interview. And we appreciate you being here. Subscribe, like, and share. Leave your comments below because your opinion really does matter. So, Tyler, tell us who you are, what you do.
Well, my name is Tyler Glenn. I'm from Bartlesville, Oklahoma, and I own a barbecue seasoning company, Red Dirt Rubs. I do barbecue seasoning, steak seasoning, and I do barbecue sauce as well. But this fall, I'm opening up my own shop. It's called Red Dirt Trading Company. And it'll have a lot of local companies and also Oklahoma companies inside of its store. So it's my company and 18 other companies, but I'm basically the head of the show. I kind of run everything, and they sell the items in my shop.
Wow, that's exciting, Tyler. I'm very proud of you, and I'm sure you're proud to see it as it all unfolds, and comes together. So
it's been a journey, hey, but it's a lot of roller coasters. Being a startup company, you're gonna have there's like a 95% failure rate with startup companies, with the first year. And I'll just definitely, once I made it out my first year, I kind of just ran with it. I mean, you have to have faith, and faith's a big deal, and support. Family, faith, and support is the three things you're definitely going to need when starting a company.
Absolutely. And you're just answering the questions that one of the questions that I was going to ask, because first of all, I want to go back and I want to talk about just exactly what you said. When you're building a business from the ground up, there are a lot of bumps in the road. And if you're not committed to that, you could very well give up because it's not easy. So tell us about some of the heartaches that you had, some of the pain that you felt getting to this point.
Being a startup, it's just, funding is a big thing also. I mean, you got to think, do I want to go all in? I mean, with the way, because no one has all the money in the world. Even if you do, that's not guaranteeing you're going to succeed. So, I mean, basically, it's just like you get you really get upset a lot because you're thinking am I going to be able to do this? Am I doing well? Are they going to like this? Are they just lying to my face because they like me? So I mean, you're going to have your ups and downs. You're going to have a lot of financial hurting because you're like, okay, do I buy myself this? Do I put it on the company? Do I reinvest in the company? I've sold 200 shirts this week. Maybe I should pocket some money for myself. Do I pay myself? It's a lot of things that go through your mind, and it's not for everybody. Small company life is definitely not for everybody. It's just, like I said, a lot of faith. You need a lot of faith in yourself, and you have to be a faith in your people to support you.
Right.
Because, like I said, there's been nights where I was like, I don't want to do this.
Absolutely.
I mean, you think you're like, okay, I want to do this, but then you get those times where you're just thinking nothing's right. But then next week you get the times where you got orders coming in left and right. You don't have time. You're packaging, you're shipping. So, I mean, you just have to have faith. The whole Rome wasn't built in a day thing. It's what I live by.
That's right.
And the seeds my mom always said, the seeds you plant today, they don't grow the same day. You prosper from those when they actually sprout. So you don't plant the seeds the same day and they sprout the same day. You have to water them, and then you reap the benefits of your crops.
You plant the seed, but you have to continually water it. Some plants take a little bit longer to grow than others. But
exactly.
But you got to commit to watering those things, to watering that plant for it to grow. Yeah. You also talked about something just here in your introduction about support. We talk about building a business, and we talk about the support that we think we should have, right? We think there are people that we think should support us, but everybody. Our dream and our mission is not everybody's. And so the people that we think should support us, when they don't support you, what do you feel about that? How do you feel about the support?
If I'm giving my honest opinion on this, you won't ever succeed relying on family and friends to build you up, because they're not going to give you their honest opinion, because first off, your feelings are in their best interest. See, a stranger, their money is in, they don't care whether you get hurt or not. They care about your product. They're like, am I wasting my money? Will I come back? So, I mean, I honestly, no offense to my family and friends, but strangers are more important to small companies than family and friends are. Because family and friends, they feel like they're obligated to support you because you might turn on them. But a stranger doesn't care. He doesn't know you from Adam and Eve. So if you get a stranger to make your purchase and continue to buy off you, they'll tell their friends, and then it's like you've actually impressed a stranger. So I mean, I've always said there's no reason for them to support you. So if a stranger likes it, you know for sure it's a good product. Because your mom, your cousins, your friends at the high school, they're gonna support you all day long because they're like, oh, if I would support Tyler, he's gonna be mad at me. If I would support Tyler, I feel like he's gonna be a failure. So I don't really necessarily rely on my family and friends. I like it. I love the support, but you can't grow off family and friends. I mean, at the end of the day, they can help you start. I mean, I thank the Lord for my family and friends and community to help me get started. But I've shipped to over 25 states so far. People I haven't even seen face to face in my life. Names I've never seen. I've shipped to Ireland. I've shipped to Canada. I haven't shipped to Hawaii. Hopefully that's next on the list. But I'm all over the board right now at people I've never seen, met, talked to. But the thing is, like, I rely on them to build my company up because, like I said, family and friends, I mean, it helps you, but it also hurts you because you don't get past that point. You're going to be stuck with those 50 people supporting you, and you can't get to the next level.
Yeah.
I wasn't able to get to the next level until strangers kept spreading my name around. That I networked my butt off the first year and a half. Network. Everybody I run into, I see as an opportunity to network with. And that's one thing. You can't be shy. You can't be like, here's my company, kind of like slide them a card. You know, you might want to check it out. You have to sell that person. It's all about selling yourself in that person. You introduce yourself, who you are, the first 3 seconds they see you. That we open your mouth. The first 5 words they hear out of your mouth determines whether they're going to listen to you or whether they're going to, whether it's going to go out in the sky and they don't ever hear it ever again.
It's true. I had interviewed another guy at a state, and he had built a business, right, and doing really well. And his thing was also that he was like, my support is outside of my whole state. Like, really, there's a few people that support me, but my support and how I grew was outside of the state. We all would agree that, we're thankful for our family and our support, the support that we have, but it's abroad. It's people that you don't know, and it's word of mouth. As you talked about networking, and you can't be ashamed to talk to people about your business, and you can't be afraid of the no's because you're going to get 1,000 no's before you get yes. Let's talk about that.
Well, the thing is, like, you have to understand, not everyone's going to want your product. Everyone's going to need your product. And, of course, like I said, a lot of doors are going to shut. I mean, you can't be sensitive going into as a small business. You can't – if you're afraid of hearing the word no, then you got to definitely get out of that business because, like I said, I have a barbecue seasoning company. Not everybody barbecues. If I'm sitting here there's a wife or a mom, she bakes, maybe she bakes chicken that never hit a grill of her life. Why should she buy my product? I mean, but at the same time, that no, still give her a card because, her brother might be a pit master. Her brother might be, do barbecue. Her uncle might barbecue. But you have to see that, just because it's a no doesn't mean it's a no all the way. Right. I mean, and of course, like I said, you can't always, let those no's hit you hard. You got to keep pushing. You can't, like I said, that's why the 95% failure rate is such a real rate in first year business because you're going to get a ton of no's. No, because at the beginning, no one knows you. I mean, there's so many con artists these days. There's so many scams. They're like, no, I think we're good. Or no, that's not. And then at the same time, you're so small, you don't have that small price that everybody else has that's big. Because as you know, wholesale, if I could get wholesale, my prices would be so much cheaper. Because people are like, not the name drop, but, Head Country, it's like $3 a bottle. Like, why can't you? Well, first off, Head Country is a warehouse. I have a small commercial kitchen that I got to drive to Broken Arrow to use. Like, I'm not on that level. I can't give you that price because Head Country's getting their stuff for 5 cents a piece. I'm getting mine for $1.50 a piece. That's a whole 800% different margin region. So when people say no, I'm like, I understand, but people that have said no, I've seen come back to my inbox and be like, well, I'm ready to try it now. And I'm like, okay, so I don't write people off. That no might hurt for that second, but just know it's not permanent. There's like I said, I was able, there's 8 billion people in this world. You can't just, you can have, if you just get, a good man once told me, Brandon Thompson told me, he said, you don't need all the business. You only need 1% of the business. I was at the cigar bar with him, and we were talking about business. And he sat there, and we were talking about competition. And that's why I don't see that much competition because I see people as all you need is 1%. Greed is what folds us all. Greed will fold you. So as long as I get my 1%, I'm fine. I mean, there's over 100 barbecue companies in Oklahoma, but the 1% that love me have built this for me. and I'll continually get that 1% because that's all you need.
That's all you need.
So 99% no's and 1% yeses, and you're still there.
Yeah, that's what I mean. All my notes, you're answering those questions exactly like I would answer them. Your no's are gonna outweigh your yeses. And what is important is your commitment to your business. You have to stay committed. You have to have that backbone that says, okay, this no is gonna just take me to the next level. I might get no every day of the week, but eventually somebody's gonna say yes to me. And also, you talked about the cost. I love that. I haven't talked about that with any other business that I've already interviewed. And the cost is that, say for example, like we're interviewing for my brand new magazine, right? And in the magazines need ads, right? And you have to pay, they have to pay for an ad. Full page ads are not cheap. And
expensive.
And they're very expensive. And so what I'm saying is that when I say, okay, I'm launching this new magazine, and for the first magazine, the ads are going to be dirt cheap. But what concerns me and what I know I have to be prepared for is that the second magazine where I have to do regular prices, I got a lot of yeses this time, right? But because of the cost, it might turn people around. But that doesn't mean I don't get to do a magazine. That just means I have to work a little bit harder. And so I like that you talked about that cost, because you're right, Tyler. You're not heading country. You're not these people that are already established. You're trying to be established and get that 1%.
Right.
And get that 1%. When you started this Red Dirt Rubs, what inspired you to do this? What was it that said, I'm going all in?
Well, okay, I'll make it quick. So in college at Central Oklahoma, I was at my fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma. We cooked. I did a lot of dinners because, as you know, chapters have costs. So I would cook a lot, and I was always cooking a lot, and I was doing, we did our chili nights and things like that, and we had our Sigma days and things like that. But I was always just, giving out stuff for free, and even locally, I was always, people are like, oh, Tyler's got rub, or I go buy bread. They're like, oh, bread's got rub, and so I'm handing out all this free stuff. And my grandmother, Carolyn Evans, she was like, well, Ty, you're spending all your money helping people out. She's like, no offense, but are you making any money? And that always echoed in the back of my head. I'm like, am I making any money? I'm losing being this nice guy. And if they love me when it's free, they'll love me when it costs. Because, obviously you love me enough, I'm handing it out as getting a name for itself. And like I said, even when you say with your article, the first one was free. It has been free all this time. Now it's time to support me. I've given out my free products. I've supported y'all. And so that's when I finally decided. I was at my job. I serve at Sterling's Grill here in Bartlesville. And I don't mean a name drop, but Paul Hood, of course, Hood and Associates, he was talking to me and he said, come by my office. And I went by his office, and he got my LLC and everything set up for me. And after that, it was only me. It was like it's sink or swim at that point. It's like I always tell people, you'll get out as much as you put in. You put in 90%, you get 90%. And so I always try to put in. And so like to answer your question, I just decided it was time. It was like either sink or swim. But I told myself, I said, it's me and God. I told you ever since I was a kid, I was like, it's me and God. Like I said, my mom always said, meet God halfway. At least meet him give him something to work with. Meet God halfway.
That's right.
So some people like to pray and say, "Oh, God, I prayed, I didn't get it," but did you meet him halfway? And so so last year I had almost 3 jobs. I'm just pounding it out. Of course, you don't make a profit to about 3 to 5 years in the business. Yeah. I'm only in my 2nd year, but like I said, after Mr. Hood gave me my tax stuff and everything else, it was up to me. Right. So at the end of the day, there's been nights where I've only got 2 hours of sleep, and I'm just all night long. I'm going because I know that I have to put everything into it to keep it going. That's and right. Even to this point, to today, I'm in the shop right now. You look around, and I'm amazing. I'm in the shop right now, building up the shop because it's my Sunday, and I'm spending all my time in the shop getting ready for the fall. But it's just nonstop. People like to play and expect results, but it's just, I always believe in, work now, play later kind of thing. The ant and the grasshopper also. The ant worked all summer. The grasshopper, he played around all summer, and then look what happened at the end. That's how I feel. I feel like I've been working hard the past 2 years. I told my status 2 days ago said, in 5 years there'll be a lot of millionaires. You either be one or you be working for one. And I believe that. I believe 3 to 5 years makes the biggest difference. And then people are always so hesitant about, like, you know, furthering their career. But what's so scared? Why are you so scared to you know, attempt something when you can either be in the same place in 5 years, or at least you try to be somewhere different in 5 years? Like, why attempt to be stagnant when you can attempt to, you know, increase your wealth and increase what you want to be in life? Like, a 4-year degree is still going to be 4 years in 4 years when you haven't done your degree. So, like, let's say right now in 4 years, I didn't want to go to college because I thought it would take too long. Either way, 4 years is going to pass you by.
Yeah, that's right. Tyler, I think we're on the same wavelength, because everything you're saying, I talk about that. I talk about that because I want to encourage people. Like, you talked about failure, like they're so afraid to fail. But if you don't fail, you don't learn. And so I'd rather step outside the box, go for it, put in what I'm going to put into my business. And my people always say, well, you work too hard, you work too long, you go to work a full day, and then you spend all day working on this book, working on this magazine, working on this. Because if I don't do it, how am I going to make it? How am I going to meet my goals? If I don't put my commitment in it, I might as well not be doing it at all. Okay, I'll lose a few hours of sleep, but guess what? At the end of this road, at the end of this project, I can look back and say it was all worth it. And it doesn't matter if I fail. I want to fail big, and I want to know everything in that failure that went wrong, so that when I continue to go to the next thing, then I know what not to do. And so I like that. I also like, Tyler, that you talked about you only going to get out of it what you put in it. The reason people are stagnated is because I want these things, I have these goals, but you're doing nothing day in, day out, time's passing by. What are you doing different? So my thing, Tyler, is that every day I'm doing something with my magazine or something with my business to help the growth of it, to help me get where I'm trying to go every day.
Right. If it's what kind of got me, the biggest thing, I might have skipped over this, the biggest thing that got me was, initially, the biggest thing that got me was this. I read a meme. It said, "Don't work for another man your whole life and never have gone home and worked on yourself. Wow. Don't give another man's dream 100% and go home and give your dream 0%." Like, and when I heard that, I was like, I work for all these people that have these dreams, and I'm maintaining their dreams, but I'm not maintaining anything that I dream about. And so when I heard that, I was like, okay, so I spend 10 hours of my day for another man. What am I doing for myself? So that's why I say I'm up till 5 a.m. sometimes, because I will work both my jobs, come home, and in my mind, I'm thinking, you know, what have I done for myself? And so that's what initially why I also was like, you know, it's time for me to work for myself also, because I don't want to, I don't want to be at 65 or 67, and I looked at my life and I spent my whole life, you know, working for another man, maintaining his dream. Now his grandkids will pick up, and my grandkids work for his grandkids, and that's not where it's supposed to be at. You're supposed to, you're supposed to start. I mean, I don't feel like life is about working for someone else the rest of your life.
I don't either. I'm
not here. I mean, I understand you need to work. If you need to, you do, but don't let time. I'm already at 32. I feel like that. I mean, not saying that's old, but I'm saying time flies. I'll be 40 in 8 years, and I don't want to sit there and think that I spent my whole life struggling, my whole life working, my whole life, sweating, and then when it's for someone else, and I'm sitting here, and my grandkids are, struggling to go through college, struggling to pay their bills, struggling. And I mean, I think it's time for generational wealth. I mean, even in it being a Black magazine, I don't want to color drop also, but it's time for us to have generational wealth also. Right. It's not about, we use the word privilege, we use the word, silver spoon, but the thing is, we use those because we don't have those. I don't find anything wrong with us being able to give our kids and grandkids anything to where they can further their education. It shouldn't be handed down. The struggle shouldn't be handed down. It shouldn't be, maybe wait till this paycheck. It shouldn't be handed down. It shouldn't be something. It shouldn't be, grandpa had these bills. It should never be handed. Struggle should not be handed down. You should be able to go to college and worry about school and not whether you can have a meal on the table at night.
That's been the problem. It has been handed down. Like my parents, maybe they didn't know about owning their own business. They didn't know what to do. And so all they did is what they were taught. And it just kept going and going. It has to stop. You got to stop somewhere and say, hey, we got to do different for ours that's coming up, right? And so whatever that looks like, I'm willing to fight that fight. I want to talk about Black Magazine just for a really quick second, because you are going to be featured in Black Magazine as well. Black is Magazine. I want everyone to know that Black Is Magazine was inspired by the recent events with George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and all the injustices. But this magazine stands for humanity. That means I can do business with any race and I can be in the room with any race, and I'm good with that. I don't want any part of any racism or any of that. So because the title says Black Is, I want everybody to understand that Black is about all of humanity. And so I want to always shout that out. We haven't been able to speak that. And so I have to do my individual part in saying that. So Tyler, you are part of something that is about humanity for everybody.
If I could piggyback off that for a second, here's the thing. I think that a lot of people feel that society is against them, and technically, there are a lot of problems in society right now, and a lot of things go on. But right now, my business is in a less than 1% populated, minority town in Dewey. Yeah. There's less than 1% blacks here, and in Bartlesville, there's only 3% blacks. And as you see, I have my own store and have succeeded greatly over the past 2 years. I feel that you have to accept all. You have to accept all at the end of the day. I feel like you can't sit here and think everybody's against you, but at the same time, it's time for everyone to see that we're brothers. I mean, in our community, I feel that it's not the same as all the communities because I feel there's a lot going on right there with George Floyd and everything else. Right. But I also feel that it's time for us to be treated equally as well. I will say, I don't feel I'm stepping on any toes by saying this, but I do feel like we need to be treated more equally than what we are being treated. But at the same time.
The reason we haven't done it's been we've always been in this place where we're like, we shouldn't say that, we better not say that, but I want to say it loud. I embrace my culture. I stand with my culture. But when I say Black lives matter, yes, they matter, but all lives matter. We just want to be treated equally like the next person. I want to treat this person equally to how I treated this person. That's all we're asking for. And if we always stay and always do what we always done, we don't talk about it. We have to talk about it. We have to say it. But we have to know that it's all about equality for us. Just treat us.
That's all we want. That's all we want. We want the same opportunity as everyone else.
That's it.
I want that same. I want to be able to walk into a room and have the same opportunity.
That's right.
I don't want to feel like I'm already getting shot down as soon as they say, "Oh, dang," right? Because that's all I've ever wanted. We don't I know people say all the time, and I don't know if I'll catch hell for this, but they're lucky we want equality and not revenge.
That's it.
And we've always been. That's all we want. We don't want reverse slavery. We don't want people getting burned down when people killed. We just want an equal playing field. Right. And I'll say that. If I catch hell, I catch hell. Right. But I just know that's all I want. Walking into it, I want an equal playing field.
And I agree with you. And so I like that you said, we just want equality, not revenge. I am the first one that says rioting and hurting other people. I'm not a part of that. I don't like that. I'm not with that. I'm saying if we're going to go march, let's march these streets in peace. Because if we're out here acting fools and hurting each other, then how can we ask people to treat us equally? So anyway, I didn't mean to get off on that, but I just wanted to.
No, it happens. Hey, it happens. We're very passionate people,
very
so it happens.
About it. Very compassionate. What is going on with Red Dirt Rubs currently? What is coming in the future, and how can we get in touch with you?
Okay, well, Red Dirt Rubs currently, I'm on Etsy as Red Dirt USA, and then locally you can catch me at any of the meat markets locally. But right now, it's increasing at a fast level. So Red Dirt Trading Company is definitely one of the biggest things in the community right now. Okay. As far as Bartlesville and Dewey goes, it's one of the most, everybody's eager for it. It's like with a lot of things going on in society right now, whether it be the virus, the election, it's almost a positive in the community right now. And it's soaring right now. And I can't tell you, my inbox is so full of people just eager for the store to open up, whether it be Black, whether it be white, whether it be Mexican, it's even the community of Dewey, everybody is so ready for this store to open up. And even though it's not the biggest store, it's something to be proud of, and it's something to bring to the Dewey, something to bring to the community, and hopefully it brings more and more stores that people aren't scared to finally put money in the community. It's time for us to keep our dollars locally and build. I feel like Bartlesville and Dewey have spent enough time sleeping in the times. It's time for us to grow. Come on. Whether it be my small store, 10 more small stores. I want to see this county and community grow. And then, like I said, no offense to everybody else, but we've been behind for about 10 years around here. It's time for people to take the step forward. Okay, so, but you can find me on my Instagram, reddirtrubs, or you can Facebook, reddirtrubs. It's just, it's not hard to find. And or like my business card's on there. Just anytime you want to email me at reddirtrubs@gmail.com. You can email me. I answer instantly on any of those sites. I'm real like personal, and I'm real. I can talk to a tree. I just talk. So if you want to call and talk to me or whatever, we shoot the breeze together, whatever. But I take pride in being like in person with all my customers. I'm like, I've talked to people for 35 minutes. They've only ordered one rub, but we'll talk random, whatever you want to talk about. I'll give them suggestions. I take pride in treating my customers like people and not numbers.
Yes, that's amazing. Tyler, I'm so proud of you. I am so proud of you. When I see young black guys particularly doing something positive, because we are so often looked at as negative is the negative. Oh. And you are setting an example for the young guys coming up behind you. And that's amazing. And what I also liked is that you talk about your faith in your God, because for me, I serve the Lord Jesus Christ, and everything that he's given me and blessed me with, he gets the glory. It ain't about me. It's not about me. It's about affecting people's lives in a positive way. We have so much negative going on. I want to affect in a positive way. And I hear that from you. Talk about your faith.
Well, I've been in the church since I've always stayed there because, since I was a kid, it was Miracle Temple, Rudolph Nash and then Lowell Nash. And then eventually I went to Greater First for a while, but I was raised in the church. And then I've always just believed strongly that I'm nothing without God. I've always been and then it's God and humility, because I remember I thought that was just the hot stuff, after I got into fraternity and everything else, I thought I was just hot stuff. Yeah. And I got a package in the mail, and I looked, and it was from my grandmother, and I thought, I was like, I thought I got some kind of great, I got some, I thought it was food, honestly, but it was a big sign that said humility.
I love
a big humility sign, and I still have it in my room. And I'm sitting here, I didn't know, I guess everybody had thought that I got kind of cocky, and I got away from the Lord and everything else, and she said humility. And after that, I found my faith again. I got back in the church, and God's been with me this whole journey. Because like I said, with me having type 1 diabetes, and I've had a hard life with everything else, but I've never not traveled without God. I've never traveled without God. It's just, he's keeping me afloat. He just has. And I know a lot of people in the black community kind of say, don't believe in that God, don't believe in that. Christianity is a slave tool. I can't agree with that, because God's done so much for me and my family. Like, I'm here right now. I'm here. I'm breathing. I'm succeeding. I give him the glory. I'm like, I know y'all want me to hate God. I know y'all want me to, think that Christianity is a slave tool and that the man's using it against me. I can't, because I've seen the proof. I've seen it. I've seen what happens when I give all to God.
You did.
And if you don't want God, extra God for me is how I feel. I'm like, the less time you spend on God, the more time God has for me. If that's how you really feel. But at the end of the day, I can't make you love God, but I feel everybody has to have their own experience. Everybody has to have their own breakthrough. Everybody has to have their own breakdown. But eventually, they'll have their own breakthrough. They're like, oh, God was there for me. I've seen it now. Because in a society where it's seen it to believe it, I've seen enough. Like, I've seen God transform my whole life.
Yeah. And it's the experience with him, and people he's there for everyone. It's a matter of you being able to see that. And sometimes it takes situations for people to see that. But I love the fact that you realize that you're nothing without him, and your business
nothing at all
without him. And so I appreciate you, Tyler, for being here, for everything that you stand for. And I pray success over your business and over your life. And I just can't wait to see you grow in a major way. So
thank you. I can't wait to put your book in the shop. We didn't talk about that. Your daughter's book, right?
Yes, my daughter's book.
So I have plenty of displays in here, so we'll let you pick out the display, and we'll definitely get a good display going for her.
God bless you, and I can't wait to connect with you. And so, you guys, this is Tyler Glenn. He's amazing. Go out there to Facebook, Instagram, anywhere on social media. Red Dirt Rubs. Look for Tyler Glenn wherever you are. Tyler, this video will be seen across the U.S. and abroad. I have over 8,000 viewers here, and they will see it. People start to looking you up, I hope, and they'll do business with you. You guys, thank you so much again for being here. We're done.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate it. You look lovely.
Thank you so much. And thank you for everything.